Hey guys, I just came home from a party. It was actually a wedding reception, so that's why I'm a little done up right now. But um, today makes or tonight makes it officially a whole week since I binged, and pretty proud of, for that. Um, so for today, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about why or what is the root cause of my urge to binge, because I did end up seeing, like, the lady who diagnosed me with this binge eating disorder told me that there's usually always like an emotional or, well, usually emotional or cause behind the binges, and most of the time they're not very apparent, like they're not obvious, but there's always something that's causing it rather than the obvious. Like, so um I don't know, if you guys watch this, maybe you guys give me some feedback on what you found your causes were. But I wrote down, or I'm gonna talk about a few that I think could be it. Then you guys can tell me what you think. So okay, so I guess I'm gonna start with my family. Okay, that's so odd one to start with because I I'm I obviously love my family and I have no grudge against them. I don't blame them for anything. But like I said, these are just ideas. They might not even have anything to do with my binges, but um yeah, anyways. Okay. So when I was talking to the psychologist, I told her a little bit about my family situation. And the deal was is my mom lived away from me, my sister, and my father for about 10 years to work in the States because I live down here in Canada. Uh, so um, I basically didn't have her in much in my life during most of my elementary and all of my high school years. And my most motherly figure was probably my sister, or my aunts, who I saw probably every weekend. Um, and I would see my mother like maybe once a year for like a month at most, but most of my contact with her was only by phone. And even then, I found I really didn't have much to tell her or say to her on the phone. Um, I guess I just found it really hard being away from her. Like, I didn't make it obvious, and I rarely even told her that I missed her, but deep down, I honestly did. And every time she would leave after a visit, I'd be literally in tears, like drenched in tears the whole night, and like for at least a week, just totally missing her. And it's really hard. And um, so I told the psychologist about this, and she said that could be one of the reasons for my binges. I personally don't think that is, because I never held any grudges against that. Like, I never resented her for leaving us for that time, because I knew she was doing it to help our family and she had every good intention, and it was a sacrifice for her too on her end. So I totally got that. Um, so yeah, so my biggest influence, I guess, was my sister, because I was mostly with her, because my dad would also be working during the night and sleeping most of the day. So I never even really got to get too close with my father. I mean, we're still close, but I wasn't comfortable with telling him about my life and what's going on in school, because I didn't want to bother him too with my stresses. So I was used to telling my sister about basically everything, and she was honestly like my biggest idol. Like, I always wanted to be like her, and I always admired her, like, just her assertiveness, even her aggressiveness sometimes. because me and her are kind of like polar opposites. Like she was always the one that was more blunt, um, and like if she was mad about something, she would tell you right to your face, right at the moment. Like she wouldn't try to, sugar coat it or anything like that. And I always admired her for that. And I always remember my parents telling me, like, and don't be like your sister. Don't talk like your sister. Don't act like your sister. Just don't be like her. And I mean, I always had that pressure not like to act in a certain way that was very different from my sister. And I don't know, I kind of feel like that held me back from being the person that I could be, like, which is someone more confident, not too self conscious, and not too like introverted, because that's basically how I am and what a lot of people have described me as for such a long time. Like sometimes I'd even get like that I'm a snob, and I honestly don't mean to be snobby, but sometimes when I'm quiet, overly quiet in crowds, like I guess that's what they assume. And I don't know what to say to that, because I really don't want to be seen as that person. Like that's just totally not me. Like if anything, I want to be friends with everyone, but it's just hard for me to connect with all sorts of people. And I mean, I'm working on that now, but it's still a struggle for me, and I don't know if it's something I'll ever get over. Um, okay, so another thing with my family, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this would take a while. This is only my first reason out of like five, but I'll try to keep it short. Okay, so my family is really big on eating together, and basically we are big eaters. Like we love any occasion to just gather and have a great meal. And like even when I was younger, like I had no problem with food. I had a very healthy relationship with food. I would eat when I was hungry, and if I wasn't hungry, I wouldn't eat. And I rarely overate it. And I remember like my aunt, especially my grandmother, they'd always tell me, "Anne, you don't eat. Why aren't you eating? You're getting so thin." And it would annoy me a lot because number one, I I usually have eaten when they would say that, or am eating, or but the thing is they don't think I'm eating enough, and it bothers me because I'm eating to how I feel is right for my body. Like I'm not eating a little bit because I want to cut down on calories. It was more just I would eat how much I felt like eating. Like I had, because at that time I never had problems with my eating habits and my weight. I wasn't really that concerned with that. But I guess every time they would push me, eventually, I remember reaching a point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat, and they're gonna see that I actually gain weight because I'm eating. Like, and that's gonna help me prove them wrong with the fact that they think I'm not eating. And that's so stupid now that I think about it. But yeah, I hate it when they like, and you don't eat. Oh my gosh, like that's all they ever say. And then a month later, they're like, oh, and you're fat. Like, what am I supposed to say to that, right? So it's quite annoying, and I'm trying. That's why I haven't even been feeling like seeing my relatives much. And that's sad to say because that used to be a very like happy part of my life, just seeing them every week. And now I'm just like trying to stay away from them because all they do is pressure me to eat, and it's just driving me crazy. Anyways, I think I pretty much. Okay, so I think I'm done with that category. Um,